How we doing tonight on a Wacky Wednesday, everybody? We are rocking. We are rolling. We are having the time of our lives here in the City of Angels. Clap it up for yourselves, supporting local artists on a Wednesday. That's pretty great. I'm Samantha Linderman. I'm the comedy concierge here at the LA School of Comedy. I'm your host tonight. Let's do a round of applause for Sunda Kroonquist. You're all like, that's not Sunda. I am not. Oh, wow. Is she okay? She's great. She's great. Tune into the live streams. If you're ever wondering how Sunda's doing, just come to LA School of Comedy. Just go on YouTube, and you will see it all. That's me and her have the same problem of oversharing. But let's do a round of applause also for our producer tonight and the head of the Film Actors Cafe, Aaron McIntyre. We have Mark Zaffron, man, myth, legend. He makes it happen. Billy Ramirez and Jen, of course. Social media. Should we just keep going? No. What do you guys do? Adult novelties. You're like, sex toys. Like, move on. You don't call it that. No, because it's you know, yeah. Is it upper echelon? It's like Honey Burdette. Not that I would know. I've never even heard of this before. Sex toy? Sex toy? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I never heard of this before. Vibrate buttons? What are you talking about? You have it in pink? Listen. Vibrators are taking the most important American job. And nobody's talking about that. Do you know? Not enough people, funny enough. It used to be, oh, we were so worried girls aren't coming. Guys aren't getting hard. And that's not my, it's not my fault. It's not my, I'm there with, guys, who's going up tonight, me or you? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Please also do a round of applause. I should have said this earlier, but we have Aviva and Tova Zaffron here tonight. Sunda's amazing, talented, beautiful daughters who we are going to get up on stage tonight later. So it's almost like Sunda's here. Vibrators got everybody way too excited. I have to move on. I have to move on to dildos. No, I'm kidding. What was I going to say? Yeah, I never worked in sex, but I worked at Bath and Body Works. I did sometimes feel like a prostitute there. Like, I'm just standing there like, hi, welcome. And people would either pretend I was like a holographic, like not real person, like whatever, or they'd really talk to me for a long time. So I kind of miss that. I work with kids now. Don't clap. No, I'm not a real teacher, but they do call me teacher. They kind of call every grown-up teacher. I always have to tell them. I say things at work that like I never did say at Bath and Body Works, thankfully. At least 5 times a day. Please don't touch my butt. I don't know why they think we're all on like a little soccer team where they're like, hi, Miss Sam. And I'm like, you're actually hitting upward. Like, you are so tiny that you are going up. And I'm like, why are you doing this to me right now? They're really funny. They're always covered in boogers. You guys know this. Who has kids here? No, I know. Nobody wants kids anymore. And I'm here going to complain about kids, and then it's like nobody wants kids anymore. Kids are great. I'm definitely going to have 2. Anyone want to help? No, I'm kidding. Guys, I'm really kidding. I'm kidding. My grandma, oh my God, my grandma married my Zadie. I'm Jewish, if you couldn't tell. I told my boss I was Jewish, and then she took 2 beats and said, I see it now. What does that mean? What does that mean? That was not in the HR video. Our HR video had, what's his name, David, the guy from Friends, the guy who fucks over Jennifer Aniston. David Schwimmer was in our HR sexual harassment video. A little too realistic on the acting. Might I? I was like, whoa, like I can't watch Friends now. Oh my God, knocked over my smart water. I used to drink this before tests. I thought it would help. Do you know what would help though? Studying. Guys, okay, I'll tell one quick tale and then I'll get out of your hair. Just kidding. I'm going to be hosting all night, but we have a great lineup of performers. Not 3, not 4, not 5, but I'm sorry. That was disgusting. That was like a tick. I don't know where that came from. I will not talk about the time a psychiatrist diagnosed me with Tourette's. It's not true. I wish it was. Then I'd have an excuse. Oh my God. I was like, I wish. I don't have Tourette's. I know you guys are like, really? Are you sure? I was like, yeah, I double checked. Don't you think I'd want that like anything? Like, would I get a handicap? I don't know. Like, of course I would want the verification, right? Okay, so I'll tell a quick story since I brought up my family a little bit. Basically, me and my best friend used to do this really hard drug called marijuana. And yeah, you probably never heard of it. There's 5 stores down the street. So my parents were so upset. They were like, oh my gosh, you and your best friend's always doing drugs. So I was hanging out with them, and I get this text from my dad. It's the kind of text you have to click on to read more. So I'm like, I'm screwed. And it says, Samantha. I was named after a Sam. Like, I'm literally, like, I was named after a man named Sam. Like, Samantha's like, whoa, Samantha, your mother, not even mom. We're not even British. There's no British in my. Your mother has found some hardcore porn on your computer. And I've never seen her this upset in my life. He said, I've never seen her this upset in my life. At the time, 20 years of marriage? Please. 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 We know that's not true. He was worried that she was going to find his shit. Please. My mom was so upset. You guys are probably like, what was on the computer? You're probably like, what's on the computer? Sex toys. No. What was on the computer was 2 tabs open for reference. Mind you, I'm 16 at the time, right? Oh, no, but they called it hardcore porn. That's so important. Oh, the punchline's all fucked up. They said, we found some hardcore porn on your computer, which is like, do you want softcore? Do you want gay porn? Like, what's the porn that you wanted to find on my computer? And then we'll do that next time. Hardcore porn. It was 2 tabs open. One said how to give a good blowjob, and one said how to suck good cock. Nice. Looking back, it's like you understand like why your parents were upset. You grow up, you mature. I should have said how to suck cock. Well, grammar's so important. And right, like, come on, do it. No. So she was like, is this what you want to do with your life, Samantha? That's not how she said. You know that's not how she said it. You're probably guessing how she said it. She was like, is this what you want to do with your life, Samantha? This is what you want to do with your life? Your life. The life that I gave you. The one life that I gave you. My life. I gave you my life. I said, Mom, if I was going to do this for the rest of my life, I wouldn't be looking up how to. Okay. So, listen, guys, we want to be doing this for the rest of our lives. Who wants to be doing this for the rest of our lives? Let's keep it going for your first, well, I guess I tried to perform for you guys. Our first comic on the lineup tonight. We love this guy. He is the head of the Film Actors Cafe. He will tell you all about it. Put your hands together for the one and only Aaron McIntyre.
Oh, hello. How you doing? Did you bring any samples? So I could use some. My name's Aaron. I am a mess, a total mess. Mentally ill, was certified, so I've got my certification. Anybody else certified in here? No, we've got a few certified mental health recipients here. Anybody else just mentally ill? Everybody should be raising your hand right now, because that's kind of a requirement, don't you think, Billy? Yeah, to be here, you got to be a little mentally ill. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm bipolar, which does not mean that I live on both sides of the world. It's not like, North Pole, South Pole. It's not like bicoastal. It's not like bicoastal, but the commute is much worse than bicoastal. ADD, that was my first certificate that I got was for ADD. And the other one was DID, so dissociative identity disorder. I do too. We fucking talked about this before. You were sitting right in the room. Was I talking to someone? Excuse me. I decided tonight I'm gonna write. I got it. Oh yeah. So I was watching the show. You know how I like time travel. Anybody else time travel? I love to watch how they're gonna fuck it up. You know what I mean? It's like, how are they gonna screw up the whole time-space continuum thing? Because they always do. They've got different rules, kind of like vampires. You know how vampires have different rules depending on what the show. Oh well, you could see him in a mirror. But the other kind of vampires, you can't really see them. So they got all kinds of new rules and stuff. And the thing that always confused me is when people go back in time, why don't they just go back in? Because we know when you go back in time, what's going to happen? Butterfly, right? Butterfly. What? What do you think's going to happen? Where you get laid? Is that what? Oh, Hitler. Yeah, everybody says, "Oh, I'll go back and kill Hitler," and then they go back and kill Hitler, and then somebody else comes along, and it makes it worse somehow. And I think that that's the problem. Is that what you need to do if anybody in here, if you get a time machine, sir, just go back like a couple hours, and see what happens. Just go back a couple hours, see what happens then. If everything works out okay, then maybe you go back 6 hours. And you do it in increments so that you see what your butterfly wings are going to do to the world before you fuck everything up and, make us live in this dystopian world. Because somebody went back in time and made this happen out here. Made Jack Smith get up in front of those people and stumble around. Sam's looking at me like, who the fuck is Jack Smith? Nobody knows who Jack Smith is. Yeah. He just came in and blew turds out of the toilet, the other day. He just came into Congress. And he's the guy who was the special prosecutor who was going after Trump for, sending all them fine tourists to the Capitol, holding on to his mom's recipes in the bathroom. See, now I'm all off my game. One of them is something that big happens. I have to open my right nostril. Oh yeah, that's a thing I'm dealing with. I have started. We've talked a lot sometimes about age. I am officially a senior citizen now. Thank you. Yep, just turned the big 6'5", so I got my. Yeah, I was able to go to the movies the other day and get my senior discount. And that was a nice, about 1/16 of the price of my soda. I saved on that one. It was $40 for 2 popcorns and 2 Cokes. Things are different. So I've turned 65. Things are getting a little creaky. Yeah, that's the only thing that's different, though. I still feel like I'm still just as immature as I was when I was in my teens. My wife can attest to that. I should say ex-wife because she's my ex-wife because of the previous joke that didn't get any laughs. So, we did, So, bipolar. I was talking about the bipolar. See, that's the ADD. See, it kicks in every once in a while. I just go off on tangents. But anyway, so yeah, the poles. Not too many people know that there used to be penguins on the North Pole as well. I don't know if you knew that, because right now they're only on the South Pole. No penguins on the North Pole. But I found out why. Santa had to kick them out because the elves were trying to fuck them, and they were making all kinds of little flipper elves. And the flipper elves couldn't make the toys, and it was just cutting down on productivity. They started doing blow and stuff, and so he had to get rid of them. But Trump's what is this? Trump eating dogs and cats and pussy on Epstein Island. There we go. Yeah. So dogs and cats. I got to work that into a joke somehow. Eating the dogs and the cats and the pussy at Epstein Island. I mean, it's got to be somewhere. It's got to be in there somewhere. I know. I do apologize to parts of my body because of the neglect I've shown them. Constantly, every day. I don't know. Life is hard. Life is really fucking... Like this morning, I opened my eyes. That should be enough. Right there. I mean, we should be just right there. Yep, that's all I need. But then I had to get out of bed, And then, yeah, that's right. I hear her. She's back there. Preach! Preach! Preach, motherfucker. Yeah, I did my little jog, my morning jog to the bathroom, It's more like one of those fast walks, how they... But I made it. I made it, because then that would have been a whole nother job. If I hadn't have made it, that would have been a whole nother job that I really didn't want to do. Then I had to go and stir up the yogurt. You know, it gets those little puddles in the yogurt, and you got to stir it and stuff. It's like what? And then organic peanut butter. We have to deal with the organic peanut butter, where you have to spend 45 minutes getting the fucking oil from the top of the thing down to the bottom, and you know, and it's like concrete at the bottom, and you gotta. I've tried everything. 45 fucking minutes. Well, you got to get it just right, man. You know? I mean, especially if it's chunky. If it's chunky, it can still rip the bread. So you got to make sure it's smooth. Okay, I got another 2 minutes here. Let's see what else I got here. I'm the last of the boomers. Yeah, I was born in the mid 1900s. Yeah, so bipolar used to be manic depressive. But they had to make it bipolar, which really doesn't make sense, because it really does not have anything to do with being on both sides of the pole. Manic depressive is much more descriptive, but my understanding is that the manics and the depressives felt like we were appropriating their names, and so they made us change our those would be nouns. Those wouldn't be pronouns, would it? If I said I'm bipolar, that means that's a noun, right? It's not a pronoun. My pronouns are it and they. And that. Just because that's who I am. I think that's about all the time I'm going to take of yours. I'm going to bring back our fabulous host in just a second, but I do have an acting class that takes place right here, 7 p.m., Tuesday nights. That's right. Last night we were in here. We were doing scenes from great comedy shows, and you get to work on your timing. You get to work on how do you work on a script, how do you find the funny lines, how do you figure out where the camera is so that you're not looking at the camera but you know it's there. There's all kinds of stuff that goes into it. 7 p.m. First class is free, just like heroin. Come in, I'm going to give you your first one for free, and then after that you got to pay for it. But right now I'm going to bring up Samantha Linderman and hope that all the drug addicts will come down.
Keep it going for Erin McIntyre, everybody! For mental health, one of my favorite things about open mics is when people are like, oh, this is just like group therapy. I'm like, you have never, ever, ever been to group therapy in your life. There's nothing like group therapy. This is nothing like group therapy. Like, people come up and they complain and they talk about, like, divorce, like, depression, like, everything. Like, well, me and Erin. But it's so different. What I would hate, though, okay, I would prefer somebody trauma dumping on stage than a comedian in my group therapy. Can you imagine? You're, like, crying, like, looking for feedback, and they're just trying material on you. I literally knew a girl just like that. It was me. Oh, yeah, it was me. This wasn't enough. No, this was before open mics. Maybe it is better than group therapy. I'm going to bring this guy up. He is, in fact, America's sweetheart. You know him. You love him. Some people in this room are related to him through blood, through spirit. Who knows? Put your hands together for the very fabulous Mark Zaffron, everybody. Woo. What?
The last thing you need is somebody who's bipolar yelling out "Daddy" as you get on stage. It is somewhat perverse. Which part of him is actually yelling "Daddy"? You know, Aaron's a creature of the fact that they change. You know, anybody know what the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual is for psychiatric disorders? Okay. So when I started practicing law, and we were looking for diseases to come up with of some sort to allege mental distress in tort cases, we only had the DSM-1. They're up to 5 now. And the problem with the DSM, it's like Wikipedia. Any jerk can put in a disease. I thought I'd just mention that, you know, as starting out. Speaking of diseases, I was told that I have to have my knee replaced. Now, yeah, well, let me put it this way. By training, I'm a healthcare lawyer. Mostly mergers and acquisitions. I don't get too deep into regulations, but I have very firm beliefs about our healthcare system and how to correct it. The evil in America today is something called out-of-network billing. Now, I know this isn't very funny, but it'll get funny once you understand it, because my wife, Sunda, claims that I don't give enough information so you understand the jokes. So I have to set you up with a little information. So out-of-network billing is when a doctor can bill you whatever the fuck he wants, and he tells you that he's not accepting a lien on your insurance policy. Now, have any of you ever walked into an emergency room, thought you were going to get it for free, and the next thing you know, you got a bill from some specialist? Because none of them are in network either. That's the game. So I go to the knee doctor. I didn't like him because he went to Harvard. No offense, I don't like anybody who went to Harvard, all right, especially doctors. And so he never tells me what the price is. He just runs me through the mill of all the things in his office. Everything there was covered because it was just the diagnostic stuff. He doesn't care about that. I find out it's $50K for the operation, cash on hand. All right? That's what they do. So I decide to get it. My knee isn't feeling great. I can't walk. My daughters are on my ass. I then go ahead and I have to get checked for, the pre-operation things. So I go to my doctor and he puts an EKG on and goes, "Oh no, you can't get the operation. We have a heart problem there." Great. But last thing I need is a heart problem at my age. I'm only, older than Aaron. So here I go. I have to run across the parking lot because it's one of those places out in the valley with thousands of doctors. So I run across the parking lot to the cardiologist, who I actually like. So the cardiologist puts me, through these tests. I did the one thing men have to do when they go to the doctor of a certain age: bring your wife. If you don't bring your wife to the cardiologist or any other doctor, they're going to tell you lied about what the diagnosis is. It's going to be the first words out of their mouth. So I take my wife there. She's, as usual, takes a nap, falls asleep in the doctor's office, really doesn't hear what he has to say. So he sends me in for some tests. So it's the first round of tests, and here they are. They're doing a little picture of my heart. They do that test, and I got to come back. They're shooting me up with radioactivity, and that's great. So we head to the. Hello, everybody. How are you? So we head over to the Subway. They tell us to get lunch, and you should never go to a Subway in a medical plaza because there's a guy vomiting in the back. You turn around to the girls at the Subway desk and say, "What's going on?" They go, "Oh, that's nothing." All right, he has chemo. All right, is there anywhere else for him to vomit? So we go back upstairs, and they give me the test. It's there's nothing worse than getting shot up with radioactive material. I didn't grow up in Hiroshima. And I don't want to. I'm now fully anti-nuclear. All right? So just to continue the little shtick of the story, I come back the next time I bring my daughter. All right? So she's a little bit more on than my wife. But the crazy guy whose name should be Igor, the doctor's tech, he definitely was an Igor, except he didn't walk like this. All right? He pulls out another syringe, and I say, "Well, where's your lead case?" He goes, "Oh, I don't need that. I'm not carrying it from room to room." Shoots me up, turns around to my daughter and says, "Are you pregnant?" She looks at him like she's ready to fight because she thought he was making a comment about her weight. Right? So we get back the next time, and I bring my wife. I mean, first the daughter, then the wife. We go back. Doctor says, basically sits me down and says, "You realize, what the problem is?" He goes, "What?" He goes, "You got to lose weight." Duh. I always knew I have to lose weight. I didn't have to hear it from the cardiologist, right? But the good thing about it is he got me enough of a diagnosis to get Ozempic. We'll get to Ozempic later. Great stuff, by the way. Except that it makes you not like a lot of things that you used to like. Like you don't like alcohol. All right? They're now using it to treat alcoholics. Soon they'll use it to treat, manic depressives and bipolar people. I'm sure there's something that'll make them averse to, like depression. So here comes the next time. I have to come back in a month. I get the Ozempic, and, I'm losing a little weight. I'm feeling good, except there's one problem. I want it to speed up. So essentially, I look in the mirror and I say, I don't have to go on a diet to lose weight. I just have to decide and make the rest of the world believe that I'm thin. I can transition. I can go from a fat man to a thin man. So I look in the mirror and I told everybody I'm thin, and all the rest of you have to accept my self-diagnosis of my condition. I'm now thin, and I have new pronouns, slim and skinny. And if you don't use them, I'm going to get you for mispronouncing me. And my dead name is Fatso. Think about it. You could do that. You could do that with almost any disorder in America today. You just decide what you are, and that's the end of it. So to get back to the cardiologist, and here we are. I bring my other daughter comes in from London, and she thinks she's slick. I'm going to go with you. But I'm going to snitch. What do you mean you're going to snitch? I'm going to tell the doctor you don't exercise. So we get there. She's sitting there. We're being all sweet. We sit down. He says, oh, you lost 5 pounds. And she goes, well, he doesn't exercise. The meanest thing on earth is that one. And he says, yeah, we understand that. But he has a bad knee. No one's supposed to talk about the bad knee, right? All right. So here we are today in America. I feel like Trey Gowdy. Anybody know who Trey Gowdy is? No, you all watch MSNBC, right? I saw Rachel Maddow on MSNBC today wearing red and having a red flag. She's calling for the revolution. If anybody knows anything about the Spanish Civil War, anybody? Rachel Maddow is not La Pasionara, all right? La Pasionara at least looked like a woman. God knows what Rachel Maddow is. Duh, what do you want me to say? It's the truth. Take a look at it. Yeah, because what pronouns does Rachel Maddow use? Him and she, right? Right, it's him, right? Right, see? Not La Pasionara. La Pasionara, there's a story about her which was repeated in that she was standing on the battlements of Madrid and showed her titties to Franco's guys. She thought that was going to stop the tanks. All right. Now, talking about fascists. Talking about Nazis. Franco was a fascist. Hitler was a Nazi. They all fought against democracy, by the way, in the Spanish Civil War, except the only people fighting on the side of democracy of it in the Spaniards were the communists. All right? So at the end of the day, it was the battle map for reality in the world today. The truth of the matter is there is no such thing as democracy. All right? Democracy is something the Greeks used to have and failed at. They democratically voted to stand at the pearly gates, the Spartans. They democratically voted to die. All of them, just for their country. But, of course, the rumor is that they prevented the Persians, who are still the enemy, and you have facts that they're not. I mean, it's not like the Ayatollah isn't standing there, death to America and kill all the Jews. This is not a nice man. 35,000 dead Iranians. Moment of silence. There's going to be a lot more before that's over. Anyhow, the Persians are standing there. Get through it. Keep laughing, dude. This is the real stuff. I don't care about Tom Homan or all those lunatics out of Minneapolis, right? All right. Think about it. It's just the same thing that happens every generation. All right? This is the cycle of history. People, it's not the first time we've had insurrection in America. The reason why people get on the news, especially people like Don Lemon, and say it's the first time we've ever seen this and it's a threat to our democracy, really? Okay. Shays Rebellion in the 1700s. The Whiskey Rebellion. Does anybody know what that was about? Government tried to tax whiskey. Nobody was taking the whiskey away from those white trash. You gave me the light on white trash. That's pretty good. The Mormons. Does anybody know that we had a war with the Mormons? We had a war with the Mormons. You know what it was over in the 1800s? Polygamy. They wanted to have more than one wife. They wanted to be free. They wanted to do what they wanted. But they were kidnapping women and killing the husbands. Yes, it's very true. How many times have we had insurrections in America? Let's see. Haymarket. The battles in the steel mills. This is nothing new, all right? I'm not being funny now, but with all due respect, this is really funny. The fact that we are so ignorant of our own history that we can get upset by a couple of people running around with keffiyehs and masks. They've done it before, all right? So they bit off the finger of some Border Patrol agent. I wonder if it tasted good. I was watching, Elon Omer get drenched with what turned out to be apple vinegar, and I thought to myself, what an unimaginative guy. He definitely had to be sick. Why didn't he, use pig piss? Think about it. If you're going to attack somebody like Elon Omer, attack her with something she really is afraid of. And you know what? Keep this as a warning. She got up to fight. She went after him to punch him in the mouth. If they hadn't knocked that guy to the ground, she would have given him one right to the mouth. All right, that is one tough commie there. Anyhow, didn't want to get political at the end, but they gave me the right, so I had to fill it in with something that just a little bit of a lecture. But it's just true, though, right? Neither right nor left. This has happened. You know, everybody watch Battlestar Galactica? The new version, not the old. The old version was fun. The new version was deep. But their thing was, this has happened before. This will happen again. It's the wheel of time, folks. Bye.
Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. Tough act to follow, tough act to follow. I don't know anything. I really don't know anything. You know those videos where it's like one of the Jimmys and they go up to people and they're like, how many United States are there? And they're like, I don't know, 10? That's like me. Have you guys seen those videos? Do you know what I'm talking about? Like street interviews? It's so crazy. And then you're like, maybe this is staged. And then you really think about it like in the moment. Who was the first president? I'm kidding. I don't know. George? Probably. I don't know. I'm not over adult novelties. I was like, novelty. I was like, diamonds. I was like, what novels? What's a novelty? A novelist. We'll talk after the show. No, I'm kidding. That's so funny. I should have done more bits about that up front. And the one person I asked, whatever. Next time. I'm going to pay you to come to a show, big theater, even bigger than this, imagine. And we'll do this again. We'll cut that part of the tape. Don't worry. I'm so excited to bring up this femme fatale. She walks in, and it's a real bang. Put your hands together for the fabulous talent of Shemaya Bang, everybody. Keep it going, keep it going.
Thank you so much, everybody, for having me. And thank you for being here. Wow, look at all these fine men. Hey, give it up for yourselves. Yes, and you guys came all dressed up. Last time there was a guy here, he was in a robe. I thought Harvey Weinstein was here. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Shumaya Bang Weinstein. That's right. No relation to Harvey Weinstein. It's all about the bang method, baby. That's right. Bang, bang. And that's for Bangladesh. So when I tell people that, my name, it gets very controversial. You can only imagine. But the only crime that I'm committing is making funny jokes, maybe some corny jokes, and keeping it banging, baby. That's right. And keeping it banging for you guys. Yes. So let me tell you, I'm originally from New York City, and yes, thank you. It's cold out there. It's cold out in them streets, baby. It's so cold. I had to get my ass out of there. So I had to come to California, living that dream. So I think I'm Dorothy, I'm Dorothy. And I got this joke about Toto. Imagine Toto in New York City trying to take a leak in this cold. He's like, do-do-do-do-do. And I'm like, come on, Toto, let's go. He's like, Mommy, but it's so cold. And he's trying to take a leak. And, they're saying the trees are exploding. So can you imagine little Toto's balls? Boom! Bang! Explode. Then I'm like, come on, we going to California, baby. We going to go. Come on, Toto. He's like, but Mommy, there's fires. I'm going to burn to ashes. So he said, I'm going to hold it till spring. Yeah, but, coming out to California, made me become homeless. Who would have thought that, I'm kind of homeless? It's kind of like method acting, but it's real life. So one afternoon, I come home from Shabbat. I'm married. I have a 3-year-old. Life is real out here in these streets. So there's a sign on my door. They said that you have 30 days. You don't pay the rent, you gotta go. We're gonna call the sheriff on you. I'm like, sheriff, holy shit. I'm here thinking about Mel Brooks, Mel Gibson's, one of their movies with the horse. I'm like, holy shit, they gonna come to get me with them horses. It's like, oh, baby, I gotta go talk to my husband. There's something not right, baby, something not right. So I said, baby, there's something you wanna tell me? He's like, no, I don't think so. I said, you did not pay rent last month. We've been living here for 9 years. Is something you want to tell me? Are you thinking about a divorce that I don't know about? Like, what's going on? He's like, no, the flood, this and that and that. I said, listen, you can't be doing that. When you go in them fancy work meetings with your bosses, you be paying for them hotel bills, right? Waldorf Astoria, the Trump Hotel, whichever hotel, whatever your Democratic liberal rights are, whatever you like, Anyways, but you pay for the hotel bill, so you got to pay for it. Because this pussy ain't for free neither, bitch. Hey, speaking of free, so, times is rough. There's all these strikes, protests, all kinds of stuff going on, especially in Hollywood. So my husband's struggling. So I said, look, I'm going to go out there and work, right? Because his friend said to him that you need to go get you a 9 to 5. Your wife needs to work because why? My husband's 71 years old. He need to retire. I said, okay, baby, I love you. I will take that. No problem. I've been on my back for the last 13 years. So now I got to get on my 2 feet. No problem. I'm going to hit them damn clubs. He got really scared because I'm from New York and I got Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent. Those are my friends. He said, what club? What club? The strip club? I said, no, baby, the comedy club. And I'm going to shake all that thing because he don't let me out. So the only time I get to come out is right now, right here. This is it. These men, they keep you on a lockdown. That's some serious pimping. Marriage is the ultimate pimping. You get you a baddie, lockdown, bitch, lockdown. Hey. So, yeah, that's my husband. But he supports me. He really does. He's home taking care of my baby. Because you know why? He's 71 years old. It's time for his bedtime anyway. Hey. And he hangs out with Jesus. Jesus go to bed at 7 o'clock because he get up for 4 o'clock workout. So we all in bed early. Hey. Anyways, so let me tell you a little bit about my homeless jokes. Who would have thought coming out to California, homeless would be my best material? Really, like, you don't know hard times till it really happens to you. Even I was outside right there. There's a little lady in her cart. I'm doing my selfie before comedy school. Look at me. Agents come through. I'm here, right here. The lady passing by. I'm like, hi. I mean, I feel bad for the little lady. The old me, I'm like, oh, my gosh, she might cut me. She might spit on me. I am not afraid anymore. And you know why more than that? Why I'm not afraid? Last year, I died, and then I undied, and then I died again because I had kidney stones. So I am officially a certified stone cold surviving bitch. Yes. And with a bunch of jokes and a bunch of shit to say. Because you know why? My TikTok algorithm told me that I am... It's called Immortal Quantum Leap. Yes. That was pretty deep. Even getting it out, that's pretty deep. Yeah, I had to process that. Can you imagine? I'm like, what the fuck? And it's true because I was on my birthday. I thought I was going to be popping bubblies, Cristal. We had reservations at Ebaldi. I thought I was going to be Rihanna. And my hubby was going to be A$AP Rocky, but he's E from Entourage. So it's all right. It's the same. Anyways, but I was not there. I was at Lenox Hill, almost dying. But when I did survive, they gave me some kosher food. So I was really happy to be alive. I knew I was alive, and that shit was a quantum leap, bitch. That was quantum leap. I went from Muslim to Jewish. Yes, I'm alive. Allahu Akbar, Baruch Hashem. Yes, baby. So, yeah. So not that I just died there. So they sent me home, and they said, yeah, you're fine. Most people don't even go home, right? Like, imagine a laser done shot up on me. I had a lot of things go up in me, especially you, right? Back in the days, all kinds of toys before I got married. I'm 13 years married, bitch. I don't need no toys. Yes. And nor does my husband need pills. Because why do you need pills? I keep that man strong and healthy all his life. Yes. So, yeah, back to my leaving, the hospital. And they're like, yeah, well, by the way, there's a stent inside of you. Now, the only stent I've heard of is in your heart. So I'm like, what the heck does that mean? So as I'm leaving, I'm realizing that I have 3 holes. Do you know you have 3 holes? Even men have 3 holes. It's called the urethra. How sexy does that sound? But that shit is not sexy. It is the other hole. That is the hole you pee from. And you men have it too. The only thing is our plumbing is in the inside. Your plumbing is on the outside. And now depending on how big or small, I don't know, but that's a long piping. And it's like reeling it in when the doctor's got to pull that shit out. And that shit hurts more than giving birth. Let me tell you, I gave birth, but it was nothing like that thing getting pulled out. Oh my God, I thought I died, and then I done died, and I died again. And, you know, when I came back from that, I knew I could do anything, you know? So let me give you the last part of my joke since I got the light. Thank you. I think I'll try this one. So yeah, when I tell people I'm from Bangladesh, right, immediately people think I'm from another planet. I don't know if you know where Bangladesh is from. Any of you know where Bangladesh is from? Hey, tui kasamike, e beta tuike, janos na e mal, shamaya bang, Bangladesh, that's me. Yeah, baby. And speaking of, you see, I love to rap. That was my favorite passion before I died. Then I said, nah, I need a beat, I need a producer, I need this, I need that. Well, the other day, an amazing producer rolled through. I'm like, oh my God, shout out. He's like, works for Kendrick Lamar, this one and that one. So after this set, we outside in the parking lot. Me, I like parking lot pimping, blasting my music. We out there, hey, I just did my set. In my mind, there's like thousands of people. I just did the garden. Right here, this is like spirits of the garden up in here. Hey. So the guy's like, yeah, come on, come through. You know, we gonna go to the studio. I said, yeah, which studio? Dr. Dre, Eminem, 50 Cent, whose studio? He's like, yeah, I got me a studio in my hotel room in Crenshaw. I said, I bet you do want to take me to the studio and make some music, hey. Not that kind of music, because my husband, he a killer. He gonna kill your ass, bitch. Not tonight, baby, not tonight. I don't want to do it. So I told him, my husband, let me tell you a little secret. You want to take me to the studio? At least he took me to a fancy restaurant, Noble, before he took me to his little studio on 13 West 82nd Street, across the street from Jerry Seinfeld. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. This is my moment. Thank you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you to LA Comedy School for giving me a stage to shine my light. Bang, bang, baby. Mwah. I love you. I love you, Sunda. I miss you.
Guys, we doing good? You were like, there's not that many people performing. It's a packed show. You're gonna, anybody want to come up now that they're watching? They're like, I could do this. You gotta go. Keep it going for Shemai. Anybody have to go to the bathroom? Anybody? Potty break, snack break. We're good? Bye. That's a Jewish goodbye. It never ends. It never ends. It's so, I feel like I'm at temple. One time, my dad had my mom's phone, and she left her purse to go to the bathroom at, the 3 times a year we go to temple. And she had her ringer on because at the time my mom's mom was still alive and she was like a fall risk, whatever, she wanted her phone on. And it's during like the part of like services when, I'm not going to stop. You can step out. He can step out. Yeah, that's fine. Why would you tell me to stop? Would you tell me to stop if I was a man? You wouldn't. I'm gonna be honest, you wouldn't have done that. That's crazy. That's so crazy. That's crazy. Threw me off. I'm good. I can keep it going. This is all rehearsed. This is all written. You know what? I'll keep that joke for next time. I'll save that for us afterwards when we all have dinner. You guys, no, I'm kidding. I love this guy. I haven't seen him in a long time. I'm so excited for the very funny. You're gonna love him. Gabby Gruen, everybody! Woo! Welcome back. It's so good to see you. Take your time. Take your time. Hey.
Thank you. I am Gabby Gruen. I will be your infotainment. I am usually the oldest person in the room. What does that mean? I had to buy a weighted blanket because I get cold easily and have trouble sleeping. I have a condition called, what a fucking pussy. So I joined an aging support group. I don't know if you ever heard of them. 988 Kill Me. So cheat sheet. I did dabble in suicide, but I tripped and accidentally cleaned my gun. So after I turned 50, I had trouble finding work. So I started exaggerating on my resume. Education, Massachusetts Institute of Beauté. Postgraduate, Pete Hegseth Drunk Driving School. So I wrote a book, a Holocaust thriller, because it's a perfect subject for a comedy night. So so my parents were Holocaust survivors, and that's what my book covers. Oh, so female readers started sending me compliments and saying and offering me sex in exchange for my great prose, and I, wrote them letters back, and I said, "Dear madam, thank you for offering me to fuck my eyes out." So we came over after World War II on a big ass ship. You've heard of the Queen Mary? This was the Queen Latifah. I'm trying to find. So the nicest thing you can say to a Jewish person is, "You don't look Jewish." The most famous Jew in history was Jesus Christ. If I may say, that is a terrible name for a Jewish person. Jesus is a Greek name. How did the Greeks get a hold of him? You know, and the New Testament hid his. So in ancient Israel, he went by the name of Joshua. And what about his last name? Birnbaum. So we feel a strong connection to our history and culture, but to the religious ritual, not so much. I mean, the ritual is so old world. You've heard it, right? So, oh yeah. So my suggestion: modernize it, update it. Oh, Temple Beth Ann Moskowitz. We'll have flying yarmulkes, indigestible boiled meats, and flaming Jewish guitars. How did Moses get away from those mighty Egyptian soldiers? With the help of one badass Old Testament supreme being and his miracles, starring Smokey Robinson. So I have not been a reliable emotional partner. J.D. Power rated me most afraid of commitment. What were my excuses for being single? I always had an excuse. She wasn't Jewish. Or she was too Jewish. One excuse I can't use is sex. Women, it turns out, are much more sexual than I was led to believe. What do I mean? Some women like my penis more than I do. I just want to find someone with whom I can share my large, engorged, throbbing student loan debt. So some women make it too easy. I met a woman who had a tattoo on her vagina that said, "Insert penis here." Not that funny. Or And then if you continue reading, it says, beware all who enter. Side effects include itching, burning, and I'm bending down to read the small print. And vagina dentata. Well, I guess that's all my memory will allow. Thank you very much for that. Yes.
What is it? We'll tag you right now.
It's at G. Gruen Says.
At G. Gruen Says.
And says is S-E-Z.
Oh. S-E-Z?
Yeah.
Okay. You know, that's so funny. Okay. Guys, keep it going for Gabby. It is so good to see you. Those were great. We'll talk after. It was beautiful. So good to see you. This next guy has not been here in a long time either. We all send you love. It's so good to see you again. Put your hands together for the very funny, very talented Rich Rotella. Keep it going.
Good God. What's going on, LA School of Comedy? How we feeling on a Wednesday night? I love it. We got the whole A team here. We got the handicapped, the mentally handicapped, brilliant mountain climber over here. Congratulations on climbing. What was it, Taipei or some shit? Did you see the bear claws on that man? I mean, my God, he could please a Vegas whore any night of the week, and she would pay him. Over here, we got the guy who's in charge of every single naughty toy store in America. Appreciate you, sir, for keeping silicone and plastic in business. Learned so much about you right now, sir. Round of applause for this awesome guy getting up here and crushing it earlier. He is also the gentleman who has done every drug on the shelf in your uncle's house. Just know that. Then in the back, of course, we've got the ON Network, okay, if you want the conservative news updates of the world. Then over here, you've got a chess master. Over here, you got the guy that makes the best Subway sandwich in America. Then over here, you got the actual heirs to the throne of LA comedy. We've got Sunda's daughters over here. This is it, ladies. This is what you're going to inherit. Okay, your grandma's addict. One of you gets to sit here on this couch. The other one's here, and you're going to watch the rerun of The Price is Right for about 10 years until your father finally gets a knee replacement and has the balls to actually kick me right out the fucking front door. He's done it before. I haven't been back here in a year. That's why I was banned. I was banned for not eating enough food. I started a fast. Listen, don't do this unless you want to look in the mirror and just see teeth. Okay, because there's going to be nothing. Has anyone here ever done a fast for 24 hours, 48 hours? You have? All right. Did you use your weighted blanket? Did you use your weighted blanket? No, you didn't use that? You could use that as a shield, you know. If ice comes around town, you just put on the weighted blanket, kind of disappear into a bush. I think a lot of people are doing that now. We do live in weird times, bro. With all these politics and gun violence and everything going on, I like to just focus, honestly, on my career as an actor and a stand-up comedian, which, to be honest with you, is pretty rough. Like a couple of years ago, I got rejected twice in one day. The casting director didn't want me, and then my date, she didn't even show up. But at least she texted me a good excuse. She had a date with the casting director. Whenever my career is getting me down in Hollywood, I just tell my dreams to aim higher. And you know what? Now they just go right over my head. That's it. You think this shit's not fun? Why do you think you can't move ahead? It's not like you're not trying. You close Netflix once in a while. The Illuminati's everywhere. It's even inside of LA. There's your triangle. No one's paying attention. You see this shit? Right here on Santa Monica Boulevard. If your set goes bad, you can just do what I'm going to do in about 8 minutes, which is run into head oncoming traffic just to fucking sue someone. Aren't you a lawyer? Yeah, perfect. All right, we'll cut a deal. Instead of the normal 30%, which is robbery, I'll just give them 50%. All right, that way I'll have my own bathroom key for this place and not have to walk down the hallway and watch some guy watch an inappropriate YouTube video because he thinks his boss isn't coming back late. It's ridiculous. How's your phone? Your phone doing good? Someone keeps getting updates in here. Are you on Apple or Android? That makes sense. That makes sense, dude. Didn't Steve Jobs die Like he had cancer and he was eating a lot of fruit or some shit. And yet Paul Wozniak, the guy who actually launched Apple and built that shit, is still fat, happy, and alive somewhere, getting blowjobs from a model on some island. He has a boat. He has a yacht. He has a boat. How big is that boat? It's as big as my ego. That's how big it is. Perfect. Never ask a comedian what their real job is. Ever. Ever. See, comedy is just my side hustle. My real job is delusion. And I'm great at it. I actually think this is going well right now. And I refuse to take the medication to make me believe otherwise. Besides, I make too much money selling it. You got to pay the rent somehow in this town, am I right? That's what we all need to do. We all need to get in a monopoly. 4 green houses, 1 red fucking hotel. I guess we all just kind of stopped at Baltic and we were like, this is enough. This is enough. I don't want to go all the way around the board. I'm exhausted. Crazy. You know, I actually moved to LA for the weather, but I stayed because I can't afford the gas to leave. These gas prices need to go back up so that joke is stronger. It is tough, though, man. It's a tough business. Some nights, you just got to have faith. A couple of years back, I was so desperate and broken down. Being a Christian, I was on my knees, and I just prayed to Jesus. And I said, Jesus, please, Lord, please just give me any advice on my career in Hollywood. And then, Jesus appeared, and he handed me a movie. It was called Get Out. All right, now we know who watches African-American movies, and now we know who doesn't. Perfect. Cars were so close to the street. You know, everything's rough in this town, dude. Even my driving instructor failed me for not checking my blind spot. I never saw that coming. I like that joke. It stays. That's how I feel about it. Let's see here. Oh, the holidays. Anybody eat a lot over the holidays? A lot of food? See, I'm Italian, Sicilian, and part Jewish, so it's over. Like, I gain a ton of weight. When I get back from the East Coast to LA and I get on the scale to check my weight, it just displays, bro. Then I went to my doctor. He looked at my chart and he said, your cholesterol is too high. So I switched to a blind doctor. And I feel better already. I have a beautiful Armenian girlfriend. She is fantastic. Thank you, thank you. We're actually going to be celebrating 1 year together as boyfriend-girlfriend officially this Valentine's Day. So I'm holding my breath and I'm being on my best behavior. She is gorgeous, piano teacher, 100% Armenian. And because of that, she only understands 50% of what I'm saying. I'm actually convinced that her only understanding 50% of the words I say is 100% of the reason we're still in a relationship at all. I really wanted this one to work, man. 41 years young. I do want to get married, start a family, have 2 kids, boy, girl. Boy to do chores, and a girl just to clean my guns and scare the fuck out of her boyfriends. That's the dream. That's the dream. I wanted this one to work, dude. And I knew AI was on the rise. So I went ahead and I asked ChatGPT how to keep my girlfriend happy. It crashed. Oh, man. It's going to come out sooner or later. I did the surgery. I broke my legs and grew 3 inches taller. True story. Google it later. Look at these sexy fucking long legs right here. I earned that shit, baby. All right, it is different. Listen, I'm 5'9", but I'm 5'8" if it's raining. Okay? Worth it. Worth every penny. When that documentary comes out, my fucking life is going to change. But I've learned a lot, though, by looking at height of men and women and everything. I can tell you something. Tall people burn more calories than short people and regular people just by walking and sleeping. But I burn more calories than everyone just by carrying this Napoleon complex. I'll end on this so I can get out of here. Keep your family close. Life is fast, crazy, wild, and unpredictable. But I am really tight. I'm really, really tight with my Italian family. In fact, my Italian brother and I are so tight that we actually finished each other's sentences. He did the first 3 years, I did the second 2. My name's Rich Rotella. You guys, God bless. Have a good night. Bye-bye. Oh, Rich Rotella Official. Instagram. Bam, bam.
Keep it going, keep it going. I was like, I was gonna stand up, but like you were getting ready to go. I was gonna stand up and get ready, and I was like, I'm 5'10", like I need to sit down. Like I feel bad. Like I was like, I'm gonna stand up right now and be like, what'd you say? What'd you say? Being a tall girl's hard. No, it's not. That movie Tall Girl was crazy. Did you see that movie? Why would you? It's a Netflix original, and it's this girl like, is this, okay, I'm white. I'm gonna just say it. Like Scandinavian, like got it, like warrior nymph. Did you see it? She was like this tall. She's like, I can't find a boyfriend. I was like, dude, it's high school. Nobody can. Like, it's not your height. It's like, it's boy. Like, what are you talking about? When I told my friends in the locker room in middle school when we were talking about our crushes, they're like, okay, who's your crush, Sam? And I said his name. They all start laughing. They said, no, for real, who's your crush? Like, come on, boy. Like, we love you. Like, let us love you. Love that tall girl. Love yourself. Love this guy. He is. First of all, I want to say Sunda sends love to everybody. She couldn't make it tonight. You know she would be here if she could. She will be here Friday. She's doing the things, guys. She's doing the things. She's going to go to New York soon, NYLA. But I'm very excited to bring up our headliner tonight. You know him. You love him. The very funny middle-aged muchacho, Billy Ramirez, everybody. Keep it going. Woo!
¿Qué pasa, familia? Es un placer estar aquí con ustedes. Aaron, es el otro botón. No, la izquierda. El otro. That's the one. Thank you. Sorry, I was had it on Spanish there for a while. I bet you didn't know I could do that, huh? Yeah. Anyways, yeah, it's fun. It's fun to do that. Yeah, it's us. I don't know if you could tell by the anything. I am first-generation Mexican-American. ¿Qué pasa, familia? Órale. I've never been able to do that goddamn whistle. If I could do that whistle everywhere I go, it would sound like an aviary. Fine, a bird store. Yeah, so us Latinos, we do come in a variety of shapes and sizes. I consider myself specifically an office Latino, which is just my way of telling you that I'm not the kind of Latino that's gonna replace your transmission or tile your house, but I could put together a website or a PowerPoint a toda madre. That means just terrific, just terrific. So let's see. Oh, well, now that you know that I hablo español, I have a piece of trivia for you in Spanish about the band Maroon 5. So check this out. It's going to blow your mind. Did you know that the band Maroon 5 has a different name in Latin American countries? Yeah, that's right. In Latin American countries, Maroon 5 is known as Cinco Putos. And that's true because I saw it on Wikipedia when I put it there. What's that? Another band joke? Sure, how about this one? You know my favorite thing about the band Mumford & Sons? Is that we know exactly who to blame. All right. Anyways, so I love LA School of Comedy. It's a great place here. I mean, you get 10 minutes of stage time. You really, if you like, Shemaya was saying, you know, she's trying to pursue her dream. Like, this is a really great place to pursue your dreams and do all that. And also, if you can't afford therapy, it's also a great place to just start, you know, working stuff out. And through a little bit of therapy, mostly LA School of Comedy, I realized, you know, my entire life I've struggled with anxiety and confidence issues. And through comedy, I think I figured out exactly why that is. I think it's because I was raised under the rule of la chancla. Okay, if you're not familiar with what la chancla is, for some mothers, it's a piece of footwear, like a sandal, and / or a disciplinary device. And my mom was lethal with it. So she knew the classics. If you're not familiar, you got your front hand to the face, and then you got your back hand to the backside. Those are the. But more frightening than that, my mom knew how to deploy la chancla long range. Okay, so if I was in my room and she thought I was screwing around, from around the corner would come a chancla. hit me in the head, and then it would somehow return to her. Like, I don't know how she ever figured out how to boomerang a chancla. As far as I know, she never went to Australia or even met an Australian, but somehow she managed to turn herself into Chancla Dundee, you know. You call that a chancla? This is a chancla, you know. I know that's an old reference, but so am I. Yeah, and, you know, my mom, she tried her best. My parents, they tried their best. You know, they're first generation Mexican immigrants, and they sent my brother and I both to college. We both graduated. But you know, obviously, just by the fact that I'm in my 40s trying comedy means like, yeah, maybe things didn't quite work out exactly the way it was supposed to. And sometimes when I'm hanging out in my not a house and reviewing my portfolio, which is nothing more than an old trapper keeper full of coupons, I wonder, like, what heights could I have reached if I had taken fewer chanclasos growing up? You know, fewer chancla smacks, which, by the way, chancla smacks is part of a delicious, nutritious Latino breakfast. You can find chancla smacks in the cereal aisle next to the special Que Pasa Cabron and Honey Nut Pendejos. I don't know. That's mildly clever. Maybe I could have been a VP of marketing somewhere at a Fortune 500 company with one of those KY 401s or whatever it's called. But instead, I've got 4 different. They're not even side hustles. They're all main hustles going on, trying to get by. One of which is doing moving work, which is fine because, you know, it brings in money, and also I don't feel Mexican enough sometimes, so it's nice to do some manual labor every now and then, you know. Yeah. So yeah. Anyways. Yeah. So I ended up. So, like I said, you know, my parents, they sent my brother and I both to college, and he went on to become a successful architect who lives in Honolulu. But by the time I got to college, I was just so exhausted and just anxiety riddled that I ended up graduating with what happens to just be the most default fallback degree there is. Anyone care to guess what that is? No. More. Huh? I think I heard it somewhere here. That's the one, communications. That's right. A degree so disrespected that The Simpsons made fun of that degree while I was pursuing it. Okay, The Simpsons made fun of it, and I ignored the warning. All right, like, just the fact that I'm in my 40s trying stand-up comedy means I've ignored all the warnings. Right. So yeah, like this episode from 25 years ago. It's called Faith Off. And the kicker for Springfield University injures his leg in the big rivalry game. And in the locker room, Dr. Julius Hibbert tries to comfort the poor kicker, and he tells him, "Oh, I'm afraid you'll never play football again. At least you can fall back on your degree in communications." Oh, dear Lord, no. And then the kicker goes, "Yes, I know he's a phony major. Lubchenko will learn nothing." Well, it's been about a quarter century now, and I finally find that joke funny because it is said that comedy is tragedy plus time, and, well, enough time has passed, and the tragedy is a communication degree, you know. But here in L.A., a city that's just designed to just shatter your ego and break you down, every now and then I do get to feel confident, okay? And that's whenever I walk into a Mexican restaurant, a taqueria, and I overhear someone order something like a chicken quesadilla, chicken fajitas, chimichangas, or something like that. And by the way, it's a tragedy that the actor Eric Estrada and the singer Celia Cruz never teamed up for anything. They could have had a variety show called Chips and Salsa. All right, that one's on the house. But yeah, so whenever it's my turn to order at a Mexican restaurant, I just cannot resist going overboard. Basically, start acting in a telenovela that nobody's shooting. Just all of a sudden, you know, ¿qué tal, preciosa? You know, could be a dude. I don't care. He's gonna be señora. You know, preciosa. En este momento, yo deseo 3 tacos de carne asada, 2 churros y una Fanta. Gracias, por favor, muy amable. Buen provecho, que Dios te bendiga. And then when I'm feeling extra confident, I'll throw in some bonus words like agujeta, crepúsculo, ferrocarril, and all that means is shoelace, Twilight Railroad, which doesn't help me getting tacos. And also, I have this face and overall demeanor, so sometimes I'll order in fluent español, and then in return I'll get a, okay, so you want 3 tacos. Fine, Jose. I'll also have a side of that green whack-a-mole, whatever that is. I know what it is. I just get upset. But it really doesn't matter where or when I hablo español, because whenever I do, I just go completely overboard and basically turn into a Latino reporter. I don't know if anyone still watches the local news, but if you do, pay attention to any Latino reporter, particularly those whose last name ends in EZ, like Ramirez, Gutierrez, Lopez, Martinez, you know. And there's a very good chance that reporter is going to take any and every opportunity to cherish the Spanish language. And that's how I hablo español, like a Latino reporter wrapping up a segment. Something like, police don't have any further information on the suspect, reporting live from Rancho Santa Margarita. This is Gustavo Gutierrez, el mero mero más chingón, tú sabes, güey, for ABC 7 News. Back to you, Nancy. Thank you. My name is Billy Ramirez. You can find me on Instagram at middle-aged muchacho and at billyramirez.com. Here we go to wrap the festivities up. Please welcome back to the stage our comedy concierge, Samantha Linderman.
Keep it going. Middle-aged muchacho. Woo! We're going to end the live stream, but we have two special guests for those of you in person. I'm going to rap and then, yeah. Okay. Guys, it's not usually like this. I'm sorry. I've been here 4 years. I think they're joking. When did you guys get here? I'm kidding. I love you guys so much. Sunda sends her love. It's an amazing night. Give it up for yourselves. Thank you for watching. And wrap it up, Aaron. Aaron, did you rap? Did you rap? Okay. I'm so excited to bring these girls up as